If you want to buy cheap FIFA 20 Ultimate Team coins, go and check out MMOPO.com and use the discount code EGHD for 8% off your order. Yes guys, welcome back to a new video. Today we are looking at icons that go for 500,000 coins or less and play for you in the cam position. So that doesn't mean that they need to start as a cam, they could be a left mid, a right mid. It doesn't really matter as long as they can play cam in game. So what we've done is we've gone onto a website and picked out some players that are under 500,000 coins or on Xbox and PlayStation. But if you're on PC, they are going to be a little bit more expensive, but we'll cover the prices in just a second. So here is the squad we are using for today's video. Obviously, we've got 4 icons in here that we are testing. We've got Baby Kaka, we've also got Baby Zola, and we've got mid Icon Figo and mid Icon Nedved. So as I said, it is going to be players that can play cam for you. So it is going to be in a 4-2-3-1, which we're going to be testing them in today, and also the 4-2-2-2 formations. So as you can see in this 4-2-2-2 formation, we've got Sola and Kaka up front here, but then for this one we have Nedved and Figo up front, so they all get equal time, and we can see how many goals they score, how many contributions they get per game. But guys, before we get into the video and start looking at the players and looking at some gameplay, if you could drop a like on the video, that'd be greatly appreciated. Also, leave me a comment below with a budget and also a position that you'd like me to cover in the future with these icon videos. So the first icon we are going to be looking at today is going to be mid Nedved. As you can see here, decent little stats on his card: 88 pace, 86 shooting, 88 passing, 88 dribbling, and also 80 physical. A lot of stamina, so he's a player that if you do use in weekend league, you can keep him on the pitch for pretty much the whole game, as long as you're not using like pressure and heavy touch or constant pressure all game. He should be good, but all round he is brilliant. There's not really something that shines apart from perhaps his shooting. He does have 5-star weak foot and 4-star skills, of course. We used him with a hunter, just like all of the other players, as you can see here as well. Now the key stats to take away here are his composure: 90 composure, 90 dribbling, also 89 shot power and 85 finishing. So his shot power will go up to 99 when it comes to his in-game stats with the chemistry boost. But other than that, guys, there isn't really a massive stat. He hasn't got like 95 of anything crazy. It's just all-round amazing stats. So now, guys, let's get into the gameplay with Nedved. Something we didn't mention is actually his price. So he's going for under 400,000 coins on the Xbox console, and just slightly above that on PlayStation, and about 650 on PC. So quite a bit more expensive on PC. But obviously, the best thing about Nedved, I would say, is that 5-star weak foot. If he was 4-star skills, 4-star weak foot, he's probably going for like, let's say about 250 to 300,000 coins. Like, that is his main selling point, and because of that, he could play striker quite well. You could actually still play him in like a left wing or a right wing. I know that there are some, maybe not pros, actually, yeah, some pros that use him in the weekend league team, not at pro events or anything, but use him in the weekend league team if they haven't got the funds and they still like to use cheaper teams. So they would put him in instead of someone like Neymar, because he's in the same position as Neymar, and I can see why, because obviously his shooting is actually better than someone like a Neymar, for example. So I would say he has one of the best normal B shots in the game. What I mean by that is, like, you could just power up to like 3 bars of power and shoot across goal, and he seems to be very consistent at that for his price. Now obviously if you go and pick up like a prime moments Eusebio or a prime moments Ronaldo, they're going to be amazing, but for the price this guy's shooting, it's quite deceiving for his card. There is someone else on this list as well that has really good shooting, which we'll get into, but there you go, just another example of just how he can have his back to goal, and at that point you don't know which way he's going to turn because of that 5-star weak foot. It's the same either side. He can just power into the back of the net. Near post is extremely OP on FIFA 20, and it's pretty much why everybody has a player of the month, Ben Yedder, in their squad, and this guy is just the same. The next player we're going to be looking at is going to be Kaka. So as you can see, 87 rated. I feel like this card has been done a little bit dirty with 88 pace, 80 shooting. So of course the shooting is his letdown, but he does have great dribbling. Obviously with the 5-star skills and 4-star weak foot, he's got 89 agility, 91 ball control, and 92 dribbling. He's only got 81 balance, but that's because he's quite tall and quite strong. It seems, well, that's the kind of stock that he has in game. His stamina is quite low for, you know, an icon at 81. His passing was pretty good, but yeah, there was something about his shooting, it just wasn't quite the same. But saying that, he still scored goals, and I think it's just simply because of that 5-star skill moves, and he was just a threat all round. There's nothing else on his card that really stands out apart from those stats. His acceleration and sprint speed is quite good considering the size of his body in game and also the amount of strength that he does have. So if we have a look, start off with a Kaka run here. Something that I really like to do with a 5-star skiller is kind of like the elastico. So it's like, let's say you're facing up, you kind of do you kind of do like a 180 movement with your controller, with your stick, sorry, and it does that elastico. You can go left or right, and it's so effective for a 5-star skill. There's that one there, that's what I mean. And yeah, the space creation is great. And obviously, being a big player like that, you do get a few situations where you can do that skill move, and it kind of creates a weird situation where the defender is right next to you, but if you hold LT, you can use his strength to kind of like body the other guy. So I did find him very fun to use and still very effective. Even though he does have bad shooting, I managed to get so close to the goal that it didn't matter that he had quite bad shooting. He just put it away, and that 4-star weak foot at times felt really good as well. Something that I found with Kaka is that he had really good positioning. I don't know why, because I think his positioning was only 82. With the Hunter, I think you get like +5 or +10, I can't remember. So it wasn't really like maxed out, but I found that in a cam position, he always just got himself in the right area to be a threat. So don't always read the stats on the cards. If a card has 90 or 80, it doesn't mean the one with 90 is going to be better, because the work rates affect your attacking positioning, and whatever he has, it really works for him. So next up, guys, we have Baby Zola, only 85 rated, 4-star skills, 4-star weak foot. Obviously very quick, but the thing is, his dribbling is also amazing, just like Kaka, but the difference is he has 92 balance. So his drag back is kind of like similar to, obviously not as good, not quite as good as someone like Messi, but he has that kind of feel because he's very short and he can turn very quickly. He does have 4-star weak foot, which we already said, but because he's so good at shooting and getting into those positions, at times it feels like he has 5-star weak foot because he's so deadly and he can just fake all the time with his movements, with his passing. His passing is probably his weakest point at only 75 vision, but 85 short passing means that it's very usable still. 87 curve, 85 composure. I'm trying to read out some of the key stats here. Good stamina, strength and aggression's fairly average. Even though he is the lowest rated on this list, he is definitely still a contender for the best one on here as well. So let's get into some of the gameplay. And the thing is, I think I had something like 10 assists and 4 goals from the cam position, which is, you know what, actually a very good record. I know he's not always the one scoring it, but the amount of chances he created, because he was so threatening as well. Like, as I said previously, his responsiveness is what makes him so good. So if I want to just stop on the spot, turn the ball to the left, turn the ball to the right, drag back, do a little ball roll, it seems to happen so much quicker. When I put that command in my controller, it happens the quickest out of all of these players, and I think that's what made him feel so good in the cam position, especially in a 4-2-3-1. You don't always have the most time. You pass into the cam position, and then you need to turn and make a decision. Are you going to go to the striker? Are you going to go wide? Are you going to go back to the CDM? And I think that's why I found him the most responsive and the best. The last player on this list, guys, is going to be Luis Figo. 90 rated overall, amazing stats, 90 pace, 91 dribbling, 88 passing. He really does look like a great cam. Now, the main stats you want to be looking at is, as I said already, the dribbling with 88 agility, 93 dribbling, and 91 ball control. But he's got 79 balance. So the same kind of problem with Kaka, except you can't do the 5-star skills. Obviously, 5-star skills makes the dribbling feel a bit better. But his passing, 88 vision, 90 short passing. His attacking position is really high. His finishing is very high. And for some reason, even though his shot power was 81, probably the best shot out of all 4 of these players. Now, if we get into some of the gameplay here, you'll see some nice goals scored with Figo. Probably the best shots out of this whole list. But something that I really struggled with, and after looking at the footage, is actually his attacking positioning, which let me down. Even though he has the highest attacking positioning on this whole list, only by a few points, by the way. But it's strange that a player can have the highest rating in something but not perform the best at it. And I think it's to do with actually the work rates. He has medium work rates, whereas all the other 3 players have high attacking work rates and medium defensive. Also, I think he was one of the players that had the lowest shot power, but you'll see at least 2 or 3 goals in here where he just ripped, the roof of the net off, because I don't know if it was because me thinking that he wouldn't shoot properly or something, but I actually found that he scored from tighter situations, or situations where I wasn't actually expecting it to go in, or maybe just, less likely to go in basically, whereas the others might miss certain situations because, I don't know, this is just the way it is. But something I did like about Figo was his passing. He did have that really nice composed feel on the ball, so it's definitely a play that I'd use again. I feel like you can also use him wide as well as Nedved because he has enough pace. But after using all 4 of these players, I know that I'd probably end up using either a Nedved or a Zola. Actually, you know what? Kaka was super fun as well. But I don't know, man. There's too many players to pick from now. But I really had fun using Figo, man. So what I've done, guys, is I have put a statement up on the screen to kind of show you guys what I think of these players. I'm not just going to order it by, you know, the best player to the worst. If you want to know who I think is the best, I think if you want to play in weekend league and you want to score as many goals as possible, I think Zola is your go-to player for the cam position. I think if you're playing them in different positions throughout the game, I think Nedved is the most versatile, and that's why I've got him on the screen right now as the most versatile. He can play striker. If you go into a different formation, he can play also a left mid or a left wing if you want him to, and he can also play cam. He has so many great stats across the board, and he also has that 5-star weak foot as well, so you can play him on the left or the right side, it doesn't matter. And as we saw right at the end there, we're actually going to give the best shooting title to Luis Figo, despite not actually having the best shooting stats in game. I just felt like if I powered up the shot, it would be fairly accurate and it would probably go in. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, I don't know how else to describe it, but a few times in the games that I played, he just scored and I was thinking, you know what, I don't know if the other players would have scored that. So the best shooting goes to Luis Figo. And as we just said, the most effective player is going to be Baby Zola. Even though he's the lowest rated, he has the right stats in the right areas, and he is the most responsive as well, but it didn't quite fit on the screen. But yeah, the most responsive, I feel like that is something that people strive to have on Ultimate Team. That's why people have completed Beneda. That's why they like using Mbappe, Neymar. Players with high dribbling stats, high balance stats tend to be players that are the most responsive when it comes to the actual gameplay, because let's face it, if you're in a game and it starts to lag, the best and most responsive players are going to be the ones that you want to have on your team. And finally, guys, the most fun player to use out of these four is going to be Kaka. But I want to say I had fun with all of them as well because they're all great icons. But the main reason I enjoyed Kaka was because of the 5-star skills, and also just using a player which seemed quite big in game but with 5-star skills. I'm used to using players that are quite small and skinny or lean with 5-star skills, so it was a nice change to have someone a little bit bigger. I feel like obviously Ibrahimovic is a step up from that, but he had like that situation where if he did the right skill move, he would get past someone and he'd really push him out the way, which is what I like. But his shooting stats are where he is let down, so I'd like to see how much better his prime or his prime moments would be. Obviously completely different cards, but his shooting is a lot better on those cards. But anyway, guys, if you have enjoyed the video, before you leave, please remember to drop me a like, and also let me know in the comment section what budget and what position you would like me to cover next. Also, before you leave, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and also make sure that your notifications are turned on with that little bell thing next to the subscribe button. I'll catch you guys later. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.